Good morning, class 8. Myself, Ranjit Kumar. I welcome you all in the e-learning program of Modern English School, Kunti Nagar, Nevada. This is the first video lecture of the chapter Metals and Non-Metals. So, we are going to start new chapter, that is the metals and non-metals. So, whatever matter, whatever thing we see in our surrounding, everything is made up of one or more elements, means the smallest pure substance of any matter is called element. So whatever we see in our surrounding, everything is made up of elements. For example, if I say water is made up of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. If you are saying carbon dioxide, it is made up of two elements, carbon and oxygen. So whatever we see in our surrounding, that are ultimately made up of elements. So there are total 118 elements. So total number of elements till date, so total number of elements is 118. Out of this 118 elements, 93 elements are called metals. So out of these 93 are metals, 18 are non-metals, and 7 are metalloids. So we are going to see in detail about metals and non-metals. Why these 93? What are those 93 elements? Why it is called metals? And what are these 18 elements? Why it is called non-metals? Due to their properties that we have to see in this chapter. So we will see metals and non-metals in detail. But the term metalloids is something which possess properties of both metals and non-metals are called metalloids. So when you will understand about the properties of metals and non-metal, then you will understand which properties are present in the metalloids. So you will see later. So I will just explain, means tell you what is metalloids. The elements which have properties of both metals and non-metals are called metalloids. So first we will see about the physical properties of the metal. Okay, first we will see some examples of metals and non-metals. For example, first see some examples. For example, metals and their symbol. Sodium is a metal, its symbol is Na. Potassium, K. Sodium, potassium. Lithium, Li. Silver, Ag. Like these are some metals, and some non-metals are carbon, C, hydrogen, H, chlorine, Cl, bromine, Br, iodine, I. These are some examples of non-metals. और भी है aluminium, Al, iron, Fe, gold, Au, फिर जिंक, Zn, copper, Cu, calcium, Ca. These are some examples of metals and non-metals. So you may note it down by pausing it. I will remove this. Now, what I am going to explain today about the physical properties of the metal. So, before explaining physical properties of the metal, I must tell you where these metals are found. Metals are found in nature either in free state or combined state. Combined state means किसी चीज से react करके. So, for example, the metals, those are less reactive. They are found in nature in free state. For example, gold. Gold is a less reactive metal. It is found in nature in free state. But, for example, aluminium. Aluminium is a reactive metal. It is found in combined form, and the ore from it is found is called bauxite. And iron, it is a reactive metal, highly reactive metal. It is found in combined form, and the ore from which it is obtained is called hematite. So these metals can be found in nature either in free state or in combined state, depending upon its reactivity. If it is highly reactive, it is found in combined state. If it is less reactive, it is found in free state. Okay, so first we will discuss about the physical properties of metals. Physical properties of metals. First, physical state. Physical state means whether it is found in solid, liquid or gas. So, metals are generally found in solid state. Means metals are generally, means most metals are hard solid. So, first is most metals are hard solid at room temperature. So metals are generally hard solid at room temperature. Some exceptions are there. In metals, some exceptions are there. For example, sodium and potassium are soft solid and can be cut with knife. मतलब ये इतना सॉफ्ट होता है कि इसको चाकू से काटा जा सकता है. सो एक एक्सेप्शन हो गया. ये दोनों जो है वो सॉफ्ट सॉलिड है. एक है मर्क्यूरी. मर्क्यूरी भी एक मेटल है बट इज इन लिक्विड स्टेट at room temperature. So metals are generally hard solid. Two exceptions are there. Okay, this is the first physical property. Second physical property is metallic luster. Metallic luster means होता है चमक. Metals are generally lustrous, means they have shiny appearance. So this shiny appearance of the metal is called metallic luster. So these you can see. So metals shine in प्योर स्टेट. ये कहने का क्या मतलब है प्योर स्टेट? जब आप किसी आयरन के किसी बार को जब आप कटते हुए देखते हैं तो जब वो कटता है तो वो चमकता रहता है. थोड़ी देर के बाद वो ऑक्सीजन के साथ रिएक्ट करके वो काला हो जाता है. तो रिएक्शन करने के बाद वो काला हुआ, बट जिसमें फ्रेश कटा था तो वो प्योर था, तो उस समय वो शाइन कर रहा था. सो मेटल शाइन इन pure state. This property is called metallic luster. So we can say metals are lustrous. Lustrous means उसमें चमक होता है. So metals are lustrous. Third point is malleability. Malleability. What do you mean by malleability? The ability, the property of the metal to be hammered, मतलब हथौड़ी मारना, to be hammered into thin sheet or foil is called malleability. Means you can hammer a metal to spread it into thin sheet or foil. This property is called malleability. So we can say metals are malleable. We can say metals are malleable. That's why gold and silver can be used to make jewelries. Aluminium, copper, they are also highly malleable. They are used to make different substance. For aluminium foil, that is used to make the food you keep in that tray or the container in which you get sweets or something, that is made up of aluminium. So the aluminium can be spread into thin sheets. That's why aluminium is used to make that container. Okay, so what is malleability? The property which allows the metals to be hammered into thin sheets or foil is called malleability. So we can say metals are malleable. ठीक है. So एक और बात लिख देते हैं, गोल्ड and silver are best malleable metals. Aluminium and copper. Aluminium and copper are also highly malleable. ठीक है, पॉज करके इसको लिख लीजिएगा, ठीक है। So we have seen three properties: physical state, luster we have seen malleability. The fourth property is ductility, the ability of the wires or the metals to be stretched into thin wire is called ductility. So most metals are highly ductile, that's why these are used for. Copper is a metal which is used to make the wiring. Wires are made up of this copper. So what is ductility? The property which allows the metals to be drawn into thin wires are called ductility. Okay, so most metals are highly ductile. Most metals are highly ductile. Okay, fourth property. Fifth property, conductivity of the heat. Conductivity of heat means the property that allows the heat to pass through is called conductivity of heat. So we can say here most metals are good conductors of the heat. So we can say metals are good conductors of heat. Same thing, conductivity of electric current. Conductivity of electricity. So we can say metals are good conductor of electric current. Seventh property, sonority. When a metal is struck with any hard material, it produces a ringing sound. This property of metals, due to which it produces a ringing sound, is called sonority. So most metals are sonorous in nature, means they produce a specific metallic sound, that ringing sound. This property is in metals, so this is called sonority. What is sonority? The property of producing a ringing sound by metals when they strike with a hard material is called sonority. So we can say metals are sonorous. So metals are sonorous means they produce a ringing sound. And एक और पॉइंट है, metals have high density and they have high melting point. So metals have density and high melting point. हाई डेंसिटी मीन्स इसका वजन ज्यादा होता है, मीन्स जितना इसका वजन है तो जितना ये डिस्प्लेस करेगा जगह को। जैसे मान लो आयरन का एक टुकड़ा लीजिए और लकड़ी का एक टुकड़ा लीजिए, दोनों सेम साइज का है, दोनों को पानी में डालिए तो आयरन का टुकड़ा डूब जाएगा और लकड़ी का टुकड़ा तैरेगा। क्यों? साइज तो दोनों का सेम था, बट इसका डेंसिटी, इसमें मॉलिक्यूल्स ज्यादा नजदीक नजदीक हैं, तो उतना ही टुकड़ा में ज्यादा आयरन का एलिमेंट है, और लकड़ी में जो है वो टुकड़ा मतलब वो दूर दूर है, बीच में कुछ एयर पॉकेट्स भी हैं, इसलिए उतना ही जगह में वो हल्का है। सो इसका जो मेटल्स होते हैं उसका डेंसिटी हाई होता है। इसको और ऐसे समझ लीजिए कि उसमें ज्यादा मॉलिक्यूल ज्यादा क्लोजली पैक्ड होते हैं, इसलिए उसका वजन ज्यादा होता है। एंड दे हैव हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट, मींस आपको ज्यादा हाई टेम्परेचर आपको प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा ताकि ये मेल्ट कर सके, पिघल सके, मींस सॉलिड से लिक्विड में आ सके। सो दे हैव हाई डेंसिटी एंड हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट्स। So I have discussed 8 properties of the metals. Same these property we will discuss with respect to non-metals. Just now I will say, first I have told you that metals are physical state, they are generally hard solid, but in case of non-metals we will say non-metals are found in any state. It can be solid, it can be liquid, or it can be gaseous. So non-metals are found in 3 states. This दूसरा पॉइंट क्या बोले थे हम लोग? lustrous. So metals are lustrous but non-metals are dull. वो उतना चमकता नहीं है। तीसरा पॉइंट बोले थे malleable, एंड चौथा पॉइंट बोले थे ductility. Means metals are malleable and ductile, means metal can be spread into thin sheet or stretched into thin wire, but non-metals cannot be stretched into thin wire. When you hammer the non-metal it will break. So non-metals are brittle in nature. तीसरा पॉइंट बोले, तीसरा चौथा पॉइंट बोल दिए। पांचवा पॉइंट बोले मेटल्स आर गुड कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट, नॉन मेटल्स आर बैड कंडक्टर ऑफ हीट। फिर हम लोग पढ़ेंगे मेटल्स आर गुड कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, नॉन मेटल्स आर बैड कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी। सम एक्सेप्शंस आर देयर, जैसे हम लोग लस्टरस की बात करें तो हम बोले कि मेटल्स आर लस्टरस बट नॉन मेटल्स आर डल, बट सम एक्सेप्शन इज देयर। आयोडीन एक नॉन मेटल है बट ये शाइनी होता है। ग्रेफाइट ये एक शाइनी होता है, शाइनी अपीयरेंस होता है। सो दे आर lustrous. So some exceptions are there. Electricity, conduction of electricity, non-metals are poor conductor of electricity, but graphite, that pencil lead, it is good conductor of electricity. Some exceptions are there. Next is metals, same sonority and all those things. Non-metals do not produce any such sound. So we will discuss one by one about non-metals, physical properties of non-metal, and at the end of tomorrow's video we will also differentiate between metal and non-metals in a tabular form. Okay, so that's all for the day. Thank you.